subscriptions are open today and tomorrow for Better Health in 31 Days. You know, Chris and Michelle now have started a Shaklee business, so they have limited time now when they can set people up with their Better Health in 31 Days accounts and on their website. And then when you get that, you understand they put your picture and your story, and I mean that subscription. The subscription comes with a webmaster, and that's the beauty of it. So, at any rate, if you have been waiting to do that and you couldn't get in the next 2 days, today and tomorrow, he'll be setting those up.
And I think that gives them ready access to the Thursday morning webinars, but most importantly, that's where they will find archives of the Monday night wellness webinars.
Monday night, and its sister website, Better Future Starts Today, is you also get, and that has all the business stuff in it, including podcasts of the Thursday mornings.
Yeah, so it's a great package.
However, I believe it does not include the pre-call information, which, except for sessions like today, in most cases you'll be very grateful for. Okay, Diana Miller.
Good morning.
Good morning, Diana.
I'm thrilled you are joining us, and we've been talking about these Facebook posts of the week, and Lisa said she found a dandy one that you had.
Well, yeah, this is almost a little embarrassing to say because I usually listen to these training calls and think, oh, that's such a great idea for someone else. But this is all kind of new to me, even though I've been on Facebook since it's pretty much been invented. I just started posting some things because, you know, the Italy trip sounds really great. So I need to start doing some different things if I want to start growing. And I don't know, you guys have probably all heard this quote from Albert Einstein that says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
That's a great one.
Great quote.
Great one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. If I want to go to Italy, I can't expect to keep doing what I'm doing now and getting different results. So anyways, I posted just one of the posts was on Scour Off, and my husband helped me learn how to use some of these collage apps, which I think are really great because you can do before and after pictures and, you know, not post a million things. So we just decided that we would start scrubbing our pots and use it to help our business. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, it was a really great result. I don't know can you guys see that?
Oh, can we see?
It's beautiful.
In fact, I'm also making a note about that collage app.
Yeah, so it's a collage app, and the one, there's a lot of different collage apps that you can use. Matt, what's the one?
So that's how they're doing that. So all these secrets are being revealed.
Yes.
And I think, you know, on Facebook, part of the success is having something visually attractive to snag your attention.
Yes.
And that's why this is really pretty and it inspires curiosity, you know. So.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, Diana, what kind of results have you gotten from this particular post? Do you have an idea?
We've gotten a Get Clean kit. I've had so many people, I was nervous to share it, and I've had so many people say, I need this, and, you know, I mean, honestly, just even the number of people that I've been able to reach off of Facebook, you know, so I would say PV, I haven't gotten all of the results yet as far as PV goes. Well,
considering PV on Scour Off is probably a 98.
But I know, but this one actually helped get a Get Clean kit. So see how I posted Shaklee, and I actually texted Lisa about this because I said, I don't want just the PV from Scour Off, and she said, tell everyone it's your favorite gift to give away to anyone that orders a Get Clean kit. So, anyways, so that's a great thing to tie into something else.
Yeah.
And they're connections. It's the door opener.
And then the other thing, this alfalfa complex, it was really, you know, I just had finished a bottle, so this was the first one I actually posted, and it got me really excited because people can see how it applies to their life. So they're looking at some of the different things that it helps and the different ways that alfalfa can, you know, just be a part of their life. And I've gotten so many people. In fact, I was laughing about it because someone had posted last year around this time that they were struggling with their allergies, and so I Facebook messaged them saying, hey, I have something that you might be interested in. And I never got a response back. And so it's funny, she was one of the people that said she was interested this year. So the last time I had messaged her was almost exactly a year ago.
Wow.
So, and I just sent her a product guide yesterday, and she wants to talk on the phone. So I have a feeling that it's going to be more than just.
I think we're talking about follow-up today. That was a great introduction.
Yeah.
Well, and Diana, you had some members see this, and it stimulated ordering from members. But you got how many new conversations with new people do you think this post generated? A tremendous amount of conversation. It was really exciting.
And I've already gotten someone a sample of it. I would say probably 10 people.
Wow.
That are now
awesome?
that I'm doing follow-up with right now. So yeah.
Very cool, huh? So, and Diana did a very smart thing. I was proud of her because not only she kind of got into the different support groups she's in, so our team page and in mom's group she's in, and she said, hey, I just made a post if you guys want to kind of comment, and then that really generated that energy.
Yes,
and
that helped a lot.
You know, I love just reading through the language because she's going to have very good members because of this picture of alfalfa, and she took a few minutes to type that up. So it was a good post.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
I know a little hot tip. When you are looking for photos of Shaklee products, you can go to Google Images, and just type in Shaklee alfalfa, and you will often find some professionally made photos there that are, will have good coloring and brighter and so on, good crisp. Lines and stuff. So it's a nice. That's where I grab them for a lot of our.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This picture I took, but I actually posted 2 other pictures in the comments that I had found after the fact, and they really were attractive and had some of the uses for alfalfa and everything. So that is a really good tip.
Nice.
But there is something very real and genuine about having it on your kitchen table as well. So if you can, you know what I mean? I see these girls taking pictures in their kitchen of things, and I don't know I like both, but if you can get a good picture in your house, it does kind of lend a little bit to the this is a project.
Authenticity.
Oh yeah, if it's on your kitchen table with your kids' drawings on the fridge in front of the fridge, absolutely. That's so cool. We are going to be talking about in-home meetings today, and I want to tell you we have like 2 minutes left before we start, but that I think Tara Herman, I think I saw her name, was on, and she did her very first meeting this week, and I was reminded of how powerful this medium is for meeting people, telling stories, building relationships, having setting time aside just to talk about health, to talk about Shaklee and the kind of company it is. It was just tremendous. And she did the whole thing herself. I was like, I do not need to be here except I'm taking her picture. That was why I was there. She was just fantastic. And she was, when she went over the agenda with me, she said, she started reading the agenda, what she was going to do, and I said,
where'd you get that?
This is really good. Where did you get that? Yeah. And she said, off the Shaklee Member Center. And I said, and where was that on the Shaklee Member Center? And there, it turns out, is a document called Getting Started with Shaklee Nutrition. And so what I sent you, Joe, I think was an earlier version of that, anyway, that I put in the slides. So I'll change that, but it's called Getting Started with Shaklee Nutrition. I don't know how she found it. The kid's brilliant. But anyway, that is, there's a lot of treasures in that library there that I was not aware of. Oh, and she also showed a video. I think it was called Why Supplement or something like that. I hadn't seen it before. It was great that Shaklee made, so it's probably at that Shaklee.tv. It really made the case in a short way. It was so nice to tuck it into your presentation. So are we coming up on the top of the hour? We
are.
So Lisa, want to get us started today?
Yes. Well, welcome everyone. We're very excited for session number 11 with our Legacy and Leadership Spring 2015 semester. And today we are talking about the key elements of in-home events. And like like Barb said, just utilizing this as a great venue or tool to grow your business, to share with people and connect. So we have a lot of good things to share, and it's going to be an awesome day.
Mm-hmm.
Katie.
Katie, we haven't even tested your audio yet.
That's all right.
There she is. Oh, great. Good. Thanks, Katie.
Good morning. So when we think about in-home events, some of the key elements that we're going to be talking about this morning is the ability to understand the value of in-home events. Why are they so important? How do they help us develop a Shaklee business? I love what Barb said, and as we were planning this, I told her that if you want to grow your business, in-homes are not an option because they're just so important for the growth of your business. And after today, you'll feel really comfortable doing an in-home event because we will provide you all of the things necessary in order to equip you to have a successful event. We'll teach you some of the skills of inviting because inviting is so important in this process of presenting, closing, and then the follow-up of in-home events. We'll also review a few tips to make our events productive. We'll review a few dialogues that may be helpful, and then we will also offer some resources to help us with the content of our meeting. So as we think through 4 objectives for any contact or meeting, this is what's really important. First, and the most important thing is to always build a relationship. I love that Shaklee Business is based on relationships with other people. And once you develop that relationship, sharing Shaklee just becomes very natural. Also, an objective would be to make a sale, to obtain referrals. This is really important because when people come to a home event, I have found that all of a sudden they see the bigger picture of Shaklee. They see that, oh, Shaklee has a game care line. Oh, Shaklee has a sports line that I could use this summer while we're training for a marathon. And they'll hear from other customers, too, about what they love. And those customers will be the ones sometimes to share and to help lead them towards another product. I've had that many times where it wasn't even me sharing about a product. It was one of my customers sharing how much they love Vitalizer and what a difference it made, or how much they love Basic H. And so referrals are really important. And the great thing with in-homes is that you can have people bring other people. We've had it before where we've offered special incentives. Hey, bring somebody and we'll give you this gift. Hey, bring somebody and we'll give you this percentage off, whatever it is that you feel comfortable offering. And then also to identify potential business partners. In-home events are duplicatable. Everything that we want to do is we want to duplicate to others. And when people come, they see, wow, this is something that I could do. This is a really different event than what I'm used to. This is an event focused on health. This is a fun event. This is we had some yummy treats that we had. I know that some people do what's called a smoothie snack down, which we'll talk about in a second. But we make them really fun, and people walk away, and it's just not your typical in-home event.
Very good. You know, I want to insert something here, Katie, that the reason Katie Odom and Lisa Anderson are leading our session this morning is because they have both built their businesses with in-home meetings. Katie, I think you'd probably say in-home meetings and Facebook, but Lisa primarily with the in-homes. And I mean, they really understand the dynamics of this medium, of this kind of an activity that we can do, and all the benefits of it. And so, as you were talking, I was thinking, you know, that's why they are the quintessential people to be teaching this to us. So, Katie, tell us why you think they are so valuable for our businesses.
Well, as I looked back and I saw the growth take place in my business, I was trying to figure out what I was doing, and at the time, I was doing at least one in-home event a month, and I continue to do them. I'm in the midst of moving, or otherwise I would still be doing them right now, but I think that it's so important to have something to invite people to. A lot of times people just want to go and see the products, taste the products, hear more about the products than they do perhaps on Facebook. And I love Facebook, and I have used Facebook tremendously to grow my business. but nothing will replace an in-home event. Nothing will replace the ability to be able to look at and see a product and experience what a smoothie tastes like. A lot of people I have found on Facebook, they want a sample of the 180. Well, you don't even have to do a sample. They can come and you can just make a smoothie right in front of them, and you can show them this is how easy it is. This is all you have to do, and they taste it, and people are always amazed because people love the taste of it. But I also think why in-homes are so important is because it's more than just Shaklee. It's an opportunity for people to come in, people to meet other people, people to socialize, people to ask questions, and there's just a fun community aspect of that. People are able to, I've had my uplines at my in-homes, which I'm very thankful for. Harper and Moira and Pam have all helped me with various events before. I've helped my downlines with their events. So then our customers are meeting our team, and there's something exciting about meeting a team and meeting people that are doing this together. So I think there's a lot of reasons. We'll talk more about it, but I
good point.
The
Very
majority
good, yeah.
of the reason why. And as we think through, too, the building the relationships that I talked about, it's a vehicle to help fulfill our mission of teaching others about building and restoring health. It's a tried and true method for building a Shaklee business. I mean, believe it or not, it's hard to understand because we use Facebook so much. There wasn't Facebook at one point in time. That how people were able to grow their business was through in-home events. And so this is
back in the dark ages, Joe, that was
hard to believe, but that is what people used to do. In fact, this was very appealing. I have a potential new distributor, and she actually was very drawn to doing in-home events. She wanted to do in-home events, and so that was really appealing to her because she had been with a different company before where they had done a lot of in-home events for that company. And then, as I talked about before, it's a source of referrals. I love how people can bring other people, get rewarded for it, and then all of a sudden they're introducing multiple people to it. It also, if you are really busy, in-homes seem like it would take even more time, but it's actually a really good use of your time. Because when you have an in-home event and you invite, let's say, 15 people, and let's say of those 15, 7 or 8 come, you're now talking to 7 or 8 people at the exact same time. You don't need to make 7 separate phone calls, 7 separate one-on-ones. You're sharing with them all at the same time. And so it's a really good use of your time as well. And it really helps us to take us to the next level because it's the most efficient way, as I talked about. So
very good. Very good. Go ahead.
Some popular topics for in-homes. These are some wonderful ideas to get your brain stirring of what you could do. So women's health topics, we could have our PMS, energy, mood swings, cravings, kicking the sugar habit. These are all topics that we as women struggle with. Children's health, healthy home, healthy you. That's probably been the most popular one that I've done. Get clean, inside and out. Sports nutrition, products to help us with joints and hydrate and repair and build muscle. Staying healthy through cold and flu. Shaklee 180 tastings, or I think Suni was the one that came up with the smoothie smackdowns, which is a fun, creative way of offering different smoothies for people. A product showcase, a full exposure of our products. Moms on a mission, happy, healthy moms and babies. Spa nights. I've been seeing some people do spa nights tonight or this week, and I just think it's a great opportunity. We'll be talking more about that as well because people can see the difference and feel the difference when you just use the NQ cell line on half of your face. I just think that's so cool. And even when you do it on your hands, it's amazing the difference that our products can make. Everything you want to know about energy, but we're too tired to ask. And then my favorite have been the grand opening. So I think I always tell a lot of my distributors if there's one event you're going to do a grand opening. And it's never too late to do a grand opening. Even if you've been in the business for a couple months or even a year or two, you can still do a grand opening. You can do a relaunch. And the great thing about the grand opening is with any business that has a grand opening, there's a sense of anticipation. There's a sense of, ooh, what is this? What is this person doing? And I have found that grand openings have been by far the most successful events that I've done out of any events because it's all about that person. And it's all about that person opening up their business, and it's all about what they're about to share with people.
Very good. Very good.
I was going to just add to, these are not just popular topics for the in-home gatherings, but I think when we title our in-home event with something like this, it sets it apart as being just different from just a Shaklee meeting or a Shaklee party. It creates some curiosity and interest just by the titling of it.
Yeah, I agree. We had a group of moms, and they had some meetings called Shake It Up Baby, and the focus was about, prenatal nutrition and nursing nutrition and all of that, after the baby's born. But the title was, kind of intriguing. So I think you're right, Joe. That was really good, Katie. And I think for us, what we found is using the in-home meetings as it's been kind of the go-to system to help someone work to director, because it gets them in front of people quickly, and that invitation process opens the door to sharing Shaklee. But then again, it's a good modeling process. So we do utilize a lot, and it is fun. It's very social. So there's some great resources we want to tell you about right off the bat, because we know that as we're going through today, you're going to go, but how do I know what to say, and what am I going to show? And so here you go. Thank you, Tara, for discovering this wonderful Shaklee tool of having that outline there at the Member Center. That's awesome.
Which actually is called Getting Started with Shaklee Nutrition. Anyway, it isn't quite what's there, but I'll fix it on the slide.
But it's a great option, or you could go to the Better Health site. If you wanted to do a particular topic, a lot of those titles that you heard Katie just read, you'll find on the Better Health site. The PowerPoints are actually there if you wanted to use a PowerPoint. But, if you're one of those people and you're like, I don't know how to really start presenting, study someone else presenting it, listen to a couple things, take some notes, create an outline, but it's not that hard. You just need to kind of get your plan together and go for it. So you can see a couple other things here. I love showing the Shaklee.tv videos, and I'll kind of insert them now in my presentation. The product guide is that little back timeline in the back of the product guide is awesome. So you can see a couple different things, but jump in there, find a presentation, and do it. You're going to really like the fact that you have that tool to present and share Shaklee with.
And I just want to add, too, that these in-homes don't need to be huge amounts of people. In fact, I always tell some of my builders, if they're small groups of people, that's almost better, because then we make it more intimate and it's more personal, and that's okay. Even just one person or two people, those are sometimes my favorite ones, because it leads to these really great conversations. And so don't get in your mind that you have to have 20, 25, 30 people at these in-homes. They can be small groups. They can be weekly play dates that you make. Like, I love that topic, Lisa, Shake It Up Baby, different things like that you invite others to. The key is that you have something to invite people to. So it takes some of that pressure off when you're trying to talk to people about Shaklee, when you have an event to take them to bring them to. So 4 skills in learning for successful in-homes is the inviting process. It's really important how you invite, and I've learned a lot over the last couple of years on how to invite. The presentation is really important. The closing, the recommendations of them, the options. And then probably the most important thing in this whole process is the follow-up process. And we will help you with that. We will help you with how to follow up. Next steps with guests to attend, and those who were not able to attend. In fact, a lot of people won't be able to attend. So what do you do to set up a time to meet with them? Also, FYI, that follow-up process also happens to be your business development process. So we contact people, we learn their need, we offer information, we give great service to them, and then we give great training and support to leaders.
Very good. All right, so let's talk about the inviting part, because if you have a beautiful presentation and great follow-up practice, none of that matters if no one comes. And so this is the area that I feel like if in this whole in-home method gets kind of chinced on or kind of handled carelessly, this is the one. Yet this really can be the key part, because you have to get the people to share the message, right? So I love this 4-step process. It comes from a first level level leader in our group, Sharon Schatz. She's got a really methodical brain, and she always does a good job at kind of breaking things down. Well, we have proven that this process works, and we've done trial tests over and over, and when we use all 4 steps, we find that our attendance is incredibly increased. So I'll just go through the steps really quick, but one of the things we found is the process not only works for in-homes, but it actually helps with webinars or Facebook events too. So it's very good. So first thing you want to do is, you make your list of people you want to invite, call them and say, hey, I'm just letting you know that I'm having a little get-together, and I'm going to send you an invite to it. I just want to let you know to keep an eye out for it. That's it. You don't have to go into any explanation. Just let them know that they're going to be receiving an invite. And then you decide, do you want to do a little postcard, handwritten notes? I have some incredibly creative women in our team that do the most beautiful little handwritten notes or note cards, something cute. Evite is fine if you're doing all these steps, or an email. It's just that you want to make sure that you give them a heads up so it does not get buried, right, in the massive communication that we get on a 24-hour period. Then you follow up and you say, did you get the invitation? And then you let them talk. Now, if you're leaving a message, say, just send them a quick text or leave a message, say, hey, get back with me. I want to, check in with you about that invitation or something like that. But you want to have a conversation, because the conversation is what is going to make it successful. If people think they're one of 50 or 75 people that have been invited to something, then honestly, your chances of their attendance goes down by 90%. But if they think that they're one of a small group of people that you thought of for something specifically, you're not just trying to get massive sales or good attendance, but you thought of them specifically, then you'll have a better chance, and that happens in the conversation. Okay? So we'll talk a little bit more about some of that conversation dialogue, I think, on the next slide. But here's the last point, and this is the point. If we will follow it, it works. The night before your event, you call all of your maybes or all of your yeses, and you say, I'm just doing a final count for tomorrow. I'm so excited, and I just want to make sure that I know the numbers so I have my seating right and I have enough food and stuff like that. And that little piece is going to be the difference, because between the time that they said yes or maybe they'll come, millions of things have happened. Chances are they've forgotten, or they're, second guessing it because they might want to go shopping or whatever. So you gotta, again, this all can be done very subtly and gently and not feeling like pressure on them. But boy, we have found that this is the difference maker in the attendance for our events.
I'm remembering when Jake Hines was doing trainings around the Shaklee 180 tastings, and I remember him saying, when you call people the night before or the day before, and you get their answer machine, he said, these events are really important to us, and they don't know this information yet, so they don't know why it's so important for them yet. But he said, just leaving a message on the answer machine saying, I just want to thank you for coming tomorrow. I'm just putting my final numbers together, and I just want you to know how much it means to me that you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Click. It's just because people need to be reminded. Yeah, it does mean a lot to us, and it's going to mean a lot to them once they hear it. That's great.
Well,
Good.
And it's that single thing that gets someone who's on the fence about going or not going or changing their mind or whatever. It's the single thing that says, well, their presence is important. You know what I mean? So I totally agree.
Yep. Good.
I just wanted to add one thing that I've learned the hard way. I hate those hard lessons, but
we all have learned most things. Right?
I love this process, Lisa, that you had introduced us to probably almost a year ago. But I think the lesson I had learned, that when someone else is hosting the event for us, and it's their friends and they're going through this, it's important that we teach them this process and guide them through it. Because if you just have someone that hosts an event and you say, well, just invite some people over, you can end up with, nobody there.
You and the hostess having a lovely little coffee.
Yeah,
you know what else is really nice? Because I think one of the most effective ways of using this, when sometimes you kind of get stopped in your business in terms of you run out of people to talk to. Every now and then that'll happen. And that's when I tell people, look at your customer list and pick just 4 people that you think would appreciate getting some free products. and then call them and ask them. Don't ask them, would you host a meeting right away? Ask them about what products are important to them and that they like the best. Then ask them about what are the kinds of issues that you hear concerns about among your friends. What are the health issues that they are are dealing with? Allergies. Do you hear asthma? Do you hear energy? Do you hear menopause? What do you hear? And then you say, well, the reason I ask is I am setting up some in-home meetings because I really am dedicated to teaching people about just some natural approaches so that they have options. The medical approach is there if they're comfortable with that, but if they never hear about the other side, then you take away their right to choose. And so if you do that, that's a really nice way to set up meetings. And then what happens is you now are going to a home where you don't know anybody and they don't know you. And if you were to call those guests and introduce yourself before the meeting, and just say, I'm just calling to introduce myself. I'm going to be the one speaking at the meeting, and I just wanted to call you beforehand and ask you what kinds of health issues might be of interest to you or people in your family, and tell you a little bit about why I have these meetings. Can you imagine? Now you have already begun the process of developing a relationship with them.
Yeah, and it takes it out of the realm of just being a party for the sake of selling people something.
Yeah,
right.
Jewelry or purses or whatever. Yeah.
And I think that's a big key to framing this, is we do need to separate it and make it different. They're not coming just so that the hostess gets her hostess credit, right. and the guests have their obligatory purchase, right? This is a little different. This is a lot different. And so all of this pre-meeting stuff gives you some room to really set it up and frame it. So, Joe, on the next slide, I think we wrote this dialogue because it's really important to figure out what do you do with the maybes, right? You're going to have a nice chunk of maybes that say, I'll try to make it, or that might work. Right. And the problem is, this is what we know, right? That I'll try to make it, or that might work means that you'll clean your house and make me snacks and I won't come. And you know what I mean? And then your family has a clean house and extra snacks, and that's good. But this is the thing. It is okay, and I'm not being judgy, but there's a little thing you can do here when you're dealing with the maybes or the mights that gives you some room. And I learned this from Pat Semeka, and she is, I think, the queen of gracious language. She is so good at being gracious and direct. And so here's a little thing. I'll say, if you're not sure or it's a maybe we should wait till the next time because I have a limited amount of seats and I can give your space to someone else. But I still would love to share this with you, but I just need to kind of have a commitment because I'm not inviting a ton of people. It places value on your meeting. It's not degrading to them. But what you're doing is gently saying, I need you to choose. Yes or no. I'm okay with a no. I really am okay with a no. The maybe's just a little bit harder on me. Now, I don't say that to them, but that's the truth. You know what I mean? So it just gives you a little bit more leverage to kind of help them commit or not commit, again, which is okay. So hopefully that helps some people because I know that we have all spent a great deal of time preparing for the maybes, and it can be frustrating. So again, that little confirmation allows you room.
Very nice.
And
very
then
important.
A little bit of tips. You can do some pre-event materials. We have amazing stuff coming from the company. You can send out a 1 or 2 minute video that says, hey, we thought you would like to check this out so you can get a glimpse of what you're going to see at my house on Saturday, and I wouldn't send them a ton because that's not good, but a couple little short things that just, like Joe says, you want to keep that curiosity and that intrigue building. So a little pre-event stuff can be a good idea.
And actually, that video that Tara found called Why Supplement was excellent. That would be a real good one for the pre-event one because it kind of raises the reason why you want to learn more about supplementation. Good idea.
Very good. All right, Katie.
All right. In conversations, it's a good time to remember to practice the elements of conversations that connect us. So important things when you think about the inviting process to tell me about, to get an idea of what they could possibly have a health concern about or what really concerns them, acknowledging them, affirming people where they're at, and then sharing your why you are having the event and why you think it will be of interest to them. In fact, I have to share recently that somebody shared in a group that I'm a part of that they did a video on Facebook of why they started the Shaklee business. And within, 12 hours, they had 4 people message them asking for more information. And that is because people care the most why you are doing something, why you are having a grand opening. So think about your why. Think about why you're having the event that you're doing and share that with other people. I'll give an example. I'm having a healthy home, healthy you event coming up this spring. I'm so excited to spring clean my home. But, one thing that I've really become passionate about as a mom is the environment that I put my kids in. And I feel that I want to create the safest environment for them possible. So I'm really passionate about having toxins in my home, about removing toxins from my home and creating, as pure of an environment for them as possible. Also, this is kind of a long why, but also I just found that a lot of times our food is just not filling in, giving kids and us the nutrition that we need. And I just feel that it's so important to supplement now. I just don't think that it's an option like maybe it once was back in the day when our soil and our crops were made the way that they were. And so I would love to have you come to learn more about why I'm just so passionate about creating the best environment possible for my children.
Well, that's nice.
A little bit more than how I shared
nice.
that.
Yeah, but that's good.
Very nice. Because it's so real. Yeah.
And genuine. Yep, I totally agree.
Katie, how many responses did that person get to the video that they posted?
They got 4 in about overnight. So 12-hour period, I guess?
Yeah, that's great.
She posted her video of why she started Shaklee, and I didn't watch the whole thing. It was about 10 minutes long. But at the beginning, she just started sharing her story about how her kids were chronically sick all the time and what that meant. So, and especially as you think about your why for the business, think about that too, that perhaps your why is that you're passionate about being able to stay home with your kids. That could be one thing that you share with other people about why you decided to start your Shaklee business. And then Lisa, I think we're talking about the next one.
Yep, so the invitation call, this is step 2, I think, or step 3 on the 4 points that we mentioned before. And really, this is just kind of the piece that you want to just be confident and comfortable and not say too much. So here's just a few ideas. You just want to let them know that it's focused on education. It's not a typical sales party. Remember, we're kind of setting it apart. You can say, we've been using these products for however many years and we really love them. If it's your hostess doing it, and she doesn't have product experience, help her with a little bit of language so that she knows what she's inviting people to, not just I'm doing this for a friend, but I really think this is an interesting topic, right? And then here's that I thought of you because is a brilliant entry into really any time we're going to share Shaklee with someone because it makes it about them, right? So yeah, you can kind of I use it to affirm them, to build them up, but it is a great time to just kind of paint the picture and let them know it's something that's valuable and special and set apart. So.
Nice.
I love this that Lisa helped us with the outline for your event to make sure that you have what you would like to do. And I think this helps calm any nerves if you are doing this if you're having a downline do an event for the very first time and they just don't know what to do for an event. People are really amazed at how simple it is and that anybody is capable of doing it. You don't need to be in Shaklee for years and years to do this. You don't need to know the ins and outs of every single product. That's why we have all these tools available. And I'll tell you, when I first started doing them, I had the catalog, and I still do to this day. I have the catalog right in front of me because people will ask questions and what's in the product or how does it work? And I'll just open up and I'll read from the catalog because I don't know everything, and that's okay. That's fine, and it's okay to tell your customers, that's a great question. I will ask my upline, and I will get back to you about that. I have done that all the time, and I still do that to this day.
That little Nutrition and You booklet is great for that at meetings.
Yes.
And what's even nicer is you can pass that booklet to the person asking the question and have them read it to the rest of the group what it says in there about what B Complex does.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
So it is another way to involve, and include your guests.
That's a great idea.
The the goal is always to make it more of a discussion than a lecture.
Yeah, it's interactive.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Excellent.
So, as you think about your event, it's really important that you greet people at the door, because sometimes people might be a little bit nervous showing up to an event if they don't know everybody or if they don't know what to expect. But as soon as your host greets you at the door, there's just something about feeling immediately at home. So bring them into the kitchen, introduce them to other people, ask them to help cut up bars or make smoothies or pass out something. Ask someone to make name tags. That's something else that you could do. With the clipper, you could have a clipboard or tablet and ask each guest what in particular they would like to discuss at the event. I think that's a great idea. And then also social time. You can have the tasting of the peanut butter oat bites, the peanut butter fudge, the smoothies, the bars. In fact, I'll tell you, if you have it as a kid event where kids can come, kids are like the best way in to Shack immediately. I'll tell you, every time I've had those peanut butter balls, there's like an argument between the mom and the kid because the kid just keeps wanting to have more and more.
Yeah.
And I tell the mom, it's okay, he can have 2, 3, 4. He's getting,
and the mom says, no, I want them. You're right.
That's very true.
You're eating all the peanut butter fudge. Yeah.
And, I even have, if it's a kid one, which I don't always do kid ones because sometimes, kids can't be, actually all the time, kids can be very distracting. So, but sometimes that's the only way to have an event. And what we do is we'll have the kids actually taste the Mighty Smarts right there, or we'll have them taste the Incredibites. And kids like them. And then they start to smile and they look up about, and they say, I want to get these. And so do that. Make it very casual. Make it, would you like to try one? And bring them in and show them that and pass around the products and open up the products and show them the Vitalizer strip. And this is what they're getting in the Vitalizer strip. People see that strip and they see how convenient it is and how easy it is. And, oh, wow, that's so easy. I could put that in my pocket and then I could go to work and take it throughout the day or, whatever people do. Just don't forget it and then put it in your laundry because that has happened. Although, good thing we have good cleaners because you come out.
Actually, and that sells another product line right there, right. That's a nice transition into Nature Bright. Oh, gosh.
Well, we had an event where somebody actually spilled red wine on their carpet. And everybody was like, oh, and then she goes, oh, don't worry. And she came and she put Nature's Bright on and then it came right off. So,
yeah,
exactly.
And when you do have people there with little kids, getting protein into little kids is not easy. Most little kids do not like a lot of meat. My experience has been. And so having vegetable-based protein options for them, the peanut butter fudge, the bars, the smoothies, and so forth, I think that really is a relief to parents to know that there's another option.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because really a lot of our protein options for kids are things that have a lot of dairy in them. So like cheese and yogurt, and although it's great, those can be great, a lot of kids have dairy intolerances, and dairy is very mucus producing. So it wouldn't be my number one choice of protein. I totally agree. Also, if you want a little tips for what to do to keep kids active during in-home events, collect your 180 canisters, make a craft table, and have them decorate the 180 canisters while the parents talk. And then they get to go home and take a little, the little 180 canister home with them. And it's a great little thing for crayons or markers or chalk. I love those.
And you could give some prizes for the
very cute.
They're clever. Mm-hmm.
Nice ideas, Katie. Good job. So when we're looking at that time, that beginning time where you're really wanting to use, I would really suggest to be very disciplined and careful at this time, because if you don't want to start your meeting 20 minutes late, you'll be in trouble. But that 10-minute time is a magical time because you can bring down that kind of wall of, kind of stiffness and people not knowing each other and almost like that little nervousness of being sold. And so for me, when I was trying to get better at creating rapport and just connecting with each guest at a very quick time before the meeting start, I created a few questions in my head that I knew I would be prepared with so I could connect with every single guest and just create a warmth and an energy in the room. And you can just see what my questions are here, so I don't need to go through them, but that's just the time to really use to just connect, ask a couple questions. If I really started paying attention to what people were wearing and how they wore their hair and stuff like that, just so I could say, oh my gosh, you have the cutest shoes. You know what? It just makes the room full of happiness. So just use that time to connect and create rapport. Again, be disciplined. You don't want to let your meeting run away with you before you even get going, but use it to just, kind of create that comfort zone. So go ahead, Katie.
All right, so the 3 parts to a meeting is the beginning, where you share your story, and this is really important, that you share your Shaklee story. You share how the products have made a difference in your family's health. You share how the business has made a difference in your family's health. And I have to share, too, and everybody, at this point, a lot of people already know my story, but it wasn't until I went to Harper's event that she had that I was really drawn to the business, because Harper and I did not know each other previous to Shaklee. We met at a baby shower, and she had an event. If she hadn't had an event, I don't know if I ever would have truly understood the Shaklee business. And when I went there, I was able to meet Moira and connect with her team, and I saw, wow, lots of people do this Shaklee business. This is really interesting. And so remember that to have an in-home is the potential to have potential distributors come to see what you're doing and the excitement and how amazing Shaklee is. But until you have an in-home, you don't know the potential of possible distributors that you might have. And then as you think through the middle, the content, the presenting stage. Content can be presenting a topic, or your upline presenting. You can team up with another leader. You can use webinars. You could use Shaklee TV videos. I also think it's important when you do an event to focus on the Shaklee difference. So to spend a lot of time talking about the quality tests that we do and talking about how we're a green company and talking about our clinical studies. I always feel like if people understand the Shaklee difference, it doesn't matter what product we're talking about, they know that it's a unique product. So don't forget that huge part in a in-home to really focus in and hone in on the Shaklee difference. And that's why I love using catalogs. And then the end, close, and then your next step. And it's really important that you, if you have your upline there, or if you have another team member there, have them close for you. I just find that it's a lot easier when somebody closes for you than saying, here are the ways you can support me. It's a little easier when you can say, thank you so much for coming to Laura's grand opening. Thank you so much for supporting her. Here are 3 ways that you can support Laura as she launches her business, and then go in to share that. I know that not everybody can have their upline there, but if you do, I always think it's great that they can close for you.
Excellent point.
All right, so when you're opening up a meeting, I found that one of the best things for me to do is to just give a quick agenda. And I actually picked up this tip from one of my college professors because we had a very intense anatomy and physiology class, and at the beginning of every class she would give us the full agenda of what was going to happen that night. And for some reason it really resonated well with me, and I think what it does is it allows the people in the room to know that you have a plan, and you kind of prep them for what's coming up. So I'll just give you an example. I'll say, I'm so glad you came. I give the hostess a little bit of kudos for opening her home, and I let people know how valuable it is that they would take time out of their busy day to spend time letting us share something we're passionate about. And then I'll say, so here's the plan for the day. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and how Shaklee came into my life. I'm going to give you a little background and history and the overview of the company and who we are, what makes us different. Then we'll talk about the products, and we'll explore them together, and we'll just kind of, tell you how they work and what you can do with them. And then I'm going to give you some ideas of where you can go from here. And so by doing that, what I've done is I've kind of, again, set a relaxed atmosphere, let them know we're exploring together. I'm not going to just talk at them. I'm not the expert, but I have a reason why I'm there. And then this is the piece that I love to share. My overall goal is that when you leave here today, that you feel a little bit more encouraged and inspired to take care of yourselves and to make a little bit more proactive decisions. And when I say that, I am basically casting my vision for my business, and I found that it kind of helps a little bit. I think actually attracts business leaders for me a little bit more when I do that. So that's the way you open.
Oh, that's good.
Nicely put.
I like that.
and then you move right into your story. And so you'll hear it in Shaklee called your 2-minute story. Right now we talk a lot about a 30-second story. Basically, this is your piece. You need to get comfortable with it. When you do, you can make it 10 minutes or 30 seconds, depending on the setting. But every time you share Shaklee, you want to talk about how you found Shaklee, why you use the products, what it's done for you, and why you're doing the business. And it needs to be succinct, but it's the piece that makes you authentic. And so definitely do this. It will evolve as you've been in the business, but definitely make sure that you're comfortable and you're ready with this, and be prepared to open your meetings that way. I do like to also add, and you can see this at the bottom of the slide, right before after I share my story and I've talked about what the business has done for us, and I'll say, you know, we've gone on some trips and stuff like that, but I like to add this here. One of the things we do is teach people how to build their own businesses. So as we're going through today, if you see this is a good fit or philosophy match for you, or even if you know someone that might be interested, let me know, because I will help you explore. So I use that example.
Lovely.
Again,
Very
but I'm
nice.
dropping in the idea at the beginning for them to put their antenna up for business.
Mhm.
Okay?
Nice.
So
Very nice.
I'm prepping them to learn what I want them to learn. And then this is just an example of my story. This is the short version. I think everybody, has probably heard my story, and it's like everybody else's story. It's personal to me. I get better at sharing it all the time. But you can take some maybe tips from this on how to keep it succinct. I can get through this in 30 seconds, and it gives a nice overview of Shaklee and my life and what it's done for us. Okay? So I'm not going to read it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want, when we're coming up with our story too, I find you have to work and rework it. Yeah. So like you said, Lisa, so it's focused, it's appealing, it's engaging, but it's succinct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's lessons in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lessons in the story.
Good
So
point.
and Joe made the point that there's a story that you tell at the beginning of a meeting in the arena that we're talking today. There's another very quick, shorter 30-second story you tell when you're when you're in a conversation with somebody at a birthday party. It's there you're not going into a 3-minute dissertation about. You're just saying this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
but when think about whatever you put in your story, it's you. They're thinking, gosh, I might be interested in that too. Gosh, that happened to me too. Oh, gosh, this sounds like this business answered a lot of needs.
Yeah.
That's the point you want to make. Okay, click.
And when you get good at it, you'll find that you naturally kind of adapt it to the setting, and it flows really easily. So I agree. You do want to work it and practice it and really just let it flow from your heart. You shouldn't struggle with your story. It should be natural. So here's a little on the content. A few bullet points. Again, we gave you the resources of where you can go to get this stuff, but you really do want to talk about why people need Shaklee. So you're going to paint the picture of the decline in nutrition in our food, health statistics. Why do we need to supplement? Household chemicals, how they affect us. Why are Shaklee products so important to people? And so you can even sit down with a pen and write that out and probably come up with some really good things to share just out of your own head and experience. But that's a great way to develop this content. And then like Katie said, you want to have a good conversation, about the Shaklee science, why it's different, the history behind us, what makes us who we are. We have a story to tell and things to share that no one else can tell and share, and that's a pretty cool thing. And then you get into the products, and I pass products and I talk about things, and if the hostess has a little product experience that she has some excitement around, I always capitalize on that. Stories and testimonies are just as important, if not a little more important than some of I can get it into data for 2 hours because I love scientific data, but stories are big, so make sure you have some good stories to share. And then, again, we're going to always wrap up with really clear direction of some choices for them and how to move ahead with Shaklee. All right, so when you're presenting, a couple tips. I've talked about some of these. So your stories, validate and firm. If you have people asking questions, you always want to let them know that that's a great question. I'll tell people, that is one of the best questions I've heard in years. Or I'll say, I've never had that question asked. I can't believe it. That's so good. I like to use that time to let people know that I think they're special,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You always want to be able to, you don't let someone take control of your meeting, but if a little bit of input is a really good thing, and I like questions. So validate them. Prepare. That kind of goes without saying, but I like to if I haven't done a presentation before, I always do it out loud to myself, always. So I can hear my voice and my language, and I can feel good about what I'm going to say. So, and then that relationship piece. All right. Katie.
All right, so closing a meeting. It's really important, like we talked about, that you capture a way of being able to follow up with them with some sort of form, whether it's an interest sheet or a symptom assessment. It's a great way to follow up with them and know what they were interested in. It captures their information and identifies their interest for follow-up. And what we love to do is if they fill one out, which I've never had anybody not fill one out, they get entered in to win a free door prize. And that can be completely up to you, whatever you want to make that. I know that we love to just do vitamin D, Scour Off, Basic H, Wipe, multi-purpose cream. Those are all very affordable products and products that people love and see a difference in. And everybody loves something free. So if they know that they're going to fill something out and they get something free or get entered in to win something free, it's just an extra perk. Follow the use, share, build, which we'll talk about in the next slide. Offer direction. Be clear about next steps and options. I think it's important, too, to mention, let us know what your budget is, and we will work around your budget. Because I think one of the things that keeps most people from ordering Shaklee is sometimes finances. And so if you let them know we have options to help you with a budget, then it kind of takes some of that, nervousness around that off of them, to know that we will help you and we will help you figure out the best plan. Because I know there have been times where I've done events and people have said, oh, I just want everything. Where do I start? It's hard to know where to start. And if you're wondering, what I always recommend people start with is one of the Join Free membership kits. So if somebody's interested in the cleaners, I'll say start with the Get Clean kit. And the Get Clean kit is great because you get free membership with it. Or if somebody's interested in the vitamins, the Vitalizer or the Healthy Foundations or one of the 180 kits is a great place to start. And so I think Shaklee has just provided a great way to get people in and to get people free membership as well, too. And then any additional materials, like a product guide, are really helpful. The Shaklee Difference, the landmark study, to provide them that information sheet. If we're doing like a healthy children topic, we might include some of the healthy children flyers for people as well. And then as we think through the 3 ways to engage with Shaklee, this is how we can close a meeting. We can say that there are 3 ways that you can join us and you can try Shaklee. I always tell people Shaklee has 100% satisfaction of all of their products. So there's no risk if you want to try something. You can use the products. Some people want to use the products to have a healthier home and family. And when you use those products, you'll find that you're loving those products and naturally just sharing with others. So you might want to become a casual distributor. A casual distributor are those who want to tell a few friends to get their products for free, or perhaps you're looking to earn some additional income. Perhaps Shaklee is a great opportunity for your family to have some extra money. So you might want to build. So you share, build. That's a great way of telling people the 3 options that they can do when you close an event.
I just want to mention one thing around closing for many of us was, I think, awkward at first. We weren't quite sure what our role was. We kind of got through all the presenting, and we were sort of hoping everyone would then somehow spontaneously jump up and say, I want to buy everything you just talked about. And typically that doesn't happen. And so what helped me a lot was to think about my role as being an advocate for them. If I am representing Shaklee products, and Katie said at the beginning of this session, we have 4 objectives for every contact, whether you're making a phone call or you're having an in-home meeting or you're setting up a Facebook event or whatever. There's always 4 objectives in our business. One is to build a relationship, but 2 is to make a sale. We represent Shaklee products because we honestly believe that people's lives are better with Shaklee products in them. And so if we are too, call us if you like, let me know if you need anything. If we're too casual about, we're sending a message that, get them if you want, get them at Walgreens if you don't want, it's okay. It's really not okay with me. I want them to get these products in their homes, in their children, in their bodies, because I know what it's going to mean for them. Because I know what it meant for me and all these other people that I've worked with. And so you're being an advocate for them, and they can't possibly know all the ways why it would be a good thing to become a member. So I don't say, now the first thing we want to do is get you a membership, because that scares people. It's like, oh, wait a minute, because somehow does that come with obligation? So we say we allow people to register as a member, because that immediately gives you a 15% discount. I am being an advocate for you, and I know how to get you all the deals. That's what you want. That's sort of the role. Yeah. That's the role you're playing in the closing. And you're also saying, look, we've talked about a lot of products here, but see, Katie just did that. She said, look, if you want to begin to have a non-toxic home, here's what I'd recommend. Get the Get Clean Starter Kit. Because it'll get you free membership, you'll have a year's supply of some of the stuff in there, and it's really inexpensive. She's saying, this is what I think is best for you. We're being an advocate. We're standing for our customer. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Lisa.
Okay. That's okay. You know what? This is just some dialogue that we took the time to write out, so I won't go through it because, Barb, that was beautiful, and Katie did a beautiful job. It's the same concept. These are language that you can use to share the concept of use, share, and build. So it's there. You can take a screenshot, or we'll have it available on the site. Here's a few tips. Some of them we've talked about, so we won't go through all of them, but having that agenda, being calm, warm, enthusiastic, practice having energy. It's a really good one. I don't care how bad of a day I've had. When I get ready to talk to anybody about anything, I have created a switch that I flip, and I am excited and happy. It's just it's just a muscle you exercise. So practice that, and be intentional about having energy. And then you can see a couple other tips. Being aware of your posture. I stand in front of the room if I have 3 or more. I sit if I have 2 or less. It's just a couple little tips, but you will get good at this if you do it regularly, and you'll enjoy it. So have fun with it, and have great meetings. All right, Katie.
All right. And follow up after the meeting, your business development process. A way to meet new people. Remember that we have these 4 components: in-home and referrals. You establish a relationships and offer good service. You introduce members to all aspects of Shaklee, and then it's a way of training business partners.
Great. So there's really 2 groups that you're going to think about following up with, and the first one are the people that attended. Within the group of the people that attended, some will join and some will need to think about this. Don't get discouraged if people need to think about it. I actually get more people who come in as distributors that go home and think it through and so I learned to kind of actually get excited about that, because I'll have people come back, they've processed it, they've looked at the products in the gold pack, and they decide to go ahead and sponsor as a gold. So just have a strategy. That's why your interest sheets are important. So for new members, you should have a new member process, and there's a couple of references to past sessions if you're not sure about a new member process. For people who did not become members, use that interest sheet and work off of that. I send a thank you email out that always has what Barb referenced, that why supplement video is in there. So send out a thank you email, thank them for coming, give them a couple of video links to look at, and then make sure you call back and follow up them in a couple days. This is your job responsibility. If you think, oh, they're interested, they'll get back to me, that's not true. They'll be interested, but they won't get back with you. That's right. Just the law of 2015, right? So you have to get back with them to find out if there's interest, and that is a good thing. So there's a good strategy to working with the people that were there. Katie, go ahead.
All right. So a lot of people might not be able to attend your event, and that's okay. In fact, sometimes Barb always reminds me things work out for a reason, and so everything happens for a reason. And if somebody can't come, or if people cancel at the last minute, look at that as an opportunity then to connect with them one-on-one. Maybe that was what was best for them. Maybe you're going to be able to have a better, more in-depth conversation with them one-on-one than had they had come. So if you're unable to come, let them know that you understand and that you will probably you will be following up with them. So make an individual appointment to review the topic with them. Call and share a story with them. And you can have send them a webinar I think has always been really helpful. If they have a certain health topic, I'll send people different webinars that are really helpful and let them know that they've been missed. And then just make sure to connect with them afterwards and let them know that it's a great event and that you missed them being there. So follow up with folks who did not attend. Here's a couple of different examples of things that you could share with them. You could say something along the lines of, sorry, you couldn't attend the webinar, but I took really good notes and I have the slides. Something like, I was thinking of you as I was watching this. I was thinking, I would really love to get together with you because I really am excited about something recently that's happened in my life. The kids can play and I'll share what I've learned. I did this recently. Somebody had told me that they were interested in Shaklee, and so she's like, can you send me some information? And so I sent her information, and I said, you know what? I said, this is just so much easier to talk about in person. Mm-hmm. And I know she's got kids, and I have kids, and it's hard to do one-on-one appointments with moms. So I said, let's just do a play date. And the key to that is picking a place where kids are easily entertained. So going to, for example, a play place where kids can run around and jump around and have fun, and they're just playing, and you're just sitting around and you're just chatting with them and talking to them, or taking them to a park, somewhere where kids can have fun and you're able to still do your business as well. I think can be really helpful. And also, you could talk about a friend that was there and how she had amazing results with, and then whatever it is that might interest them. Perhaps you knew that they had struggled with allergies, so you share a story about how someone had been using alfalfa and interferon to help their allergies, and they had seen really big improvement, because stories are what always sell with people. So if you share a story with people, they're going to be more compelled to want to try Shaklee. And just a couple other meeting options. You could do a virtual in-home. You could do Skype. You can do, Meet FM, a webinar room. You could use a PowerPoint from a wellness webinar or your own library. You can invite them to a Monday night wellness webinar. Those have been wonderful, and I have found that a lot of people can't necessarily always attend live, but then that's what's the beauty of them being archived on Better Health in 31 Days, because then you can send it to them. I'm sending people webinars all the time. And in fact, I had somebody interested in pregnancy material, and she said she listened to the webinar on her way home from work. I didn't even know. I guess you're able to, I would assume, through a podcast.
That's what Chris had set up. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And you could have a Facebook event or a conference call that you can set up as well. So if they're not able to come, there's still plenty of options to get them connected. Learn how to promote events and webinars, have a conversation with them, connect with the meeting, and follow up with your guests. And I know that Harper has always done such a beautiful job with events, and she has just been a wonderful example for our team. And I love that Harper is very consistent with doing in-home events. She does one, I think, almost every month. And so it's just a great way that she always has something that she can invite other people to. And she did make mention that when she started doing more invitations through the mail, I think that helps a lot. So you could even create fun invitations through the mail and graphics and different things like that as well. Great. I'm excited for this next story. Lisa, are you going to introduce her?
Yeah. I'm excited too, because Jen is a wonderful leader on our team, and she has created a fantastic event that they do, her and another leader do annually, that is so successful. So we thought, what a wonderful way to wrap up this segment, just sharing this beautiful event that has gotten such great results for them. But I'm also going to have Jen join or share her story first, because it's just a fun story to share, and she's had some great results with Shaklee. So, Jen, are you there?
I am.
Yay! Welcome. Yeah, I'm so excited to have you get to share just what Shaklee's done for your family real quick with us, and then we'll move into your spa event. So, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I joined Shaklee probably, I think it was October of 2008. And
that's right.
I had 2 beautiful children at that time. And they both had asthma, and my littlest one had ear infections for 16 straight months, and I started with the Get Clean. I actually started with bottle-based Gates, and found that my son could breathe after the house was clean, and that was huge. And then as I started to learn more and listen to CDs and go to more meetings, I learned a little bit more about nutrition and realized that both boys had been premature and had received antibiotics at birth. And so I started building their immune system back up with Incredivites, Mighty Smarts, and the probiotic system. And almost immediately with my middle son, we know the ear infections went away. And we started in May of 2009, and that was our last antibiotic in our house.
I love that. Love it.
6 years, and I have healthy children, and our asthma is very much under control. It hasn't gone away completely, but we can get on top of it, and no more ER visits and no more prednisone. So their immune systems are strong.
That's awesome.
And in 2011, I became pregnant with a little girl, and I had been on Shaklee Vitalizer and protein, and I was really nervous about having another premature child, and she was not. And I was so happy, and she was so healthy, and I was doing protein shakes while I was in labor. And so she is one of the healthiest little girls, and just
she came into the world raring to go. She is absolutely a hoot. Oh, I love her. So
and
fun.
So, I mean, I could go on for hours about different products and different testimonies, but it truly changed our lives with our boys.
It's been just a joy to watch the transformation in your family, Jen, and I love what you get to share with people. They just radiate such health. It's really great. So, okay, tell us about this spa event. It's unique in the way that I think you and Sharon put tremendous effort into creating something really special, and it's very much paid off. So just kind of tell us what you do.
So we started this, I believe we've had 3. So we just finished our 3rd annual, and we thought we'd do something a little different. And we started off by doing kind of it as a member appreciation. We'd invite a few new people, but it was more trying to introduce InfuCell to our current members. And we did so, this was the time when Evite was coming in and email, and we just said, no, we're going to go back to snail mail. And we did beautiful handwritten invitations. And then it's really scheduled the week right before Valentine's weekend, or, the week before Valentine's Day. And now we're at the point where our members are saying, hey, are you having that spa meeting this year? And we usually start getting questions in December or January. And so we try to invite some of the same, some of them, some new people. But we follow Sharon's model of, start with a phone call. Most of the time I start talking about the meeting. Hey, I'm going to have this meeting. Watch for my invite.
Right.
I send out the handwritten invitations, and then I always follow up with a phone call, and then we do a reminder text, email, or call the day before.
Nice.
One of the main draws is we do a flourless, gluten-free chocolate cake, and we always promise wine, and it's very pampering. So we say, take time out to pamper yourself. We have a couple of members that we trade products for, and they'll do hand massages while we're doing the presentation.
I love it.
So we talk about how we're going to get ready for bed tonight. So we do the PM InfuCell line, and we have all products there, and they can try the AM cream on their hands, but for their face, they're getting ready for bed.
Love it.
So we go through an InfuCell presentation and start to get ready for bed. And we do the mask. We always do the mask. And why they have the mask on their face, we always take pictures. Those are our bribery pictures.
It just brings so much fun in the meeting.
It is so much fun. But we usually talk while they're sitting there and they're stuck with the masks on their faces. One member or one leader, either Sharon or I, will talk about nutrition and how it affects your skin. And I've attached I sent you the flyer for that, Nutrition for Your Skin. And we go over that. We talk about how your skin reflects what's going on inside your body. So we talk like Optiflora, we talk about zinc, we talk about alfalfa, and we really kind of go into the nutrition in your skin. And then we pass out the warm towels, and they get to wash their faces. And we go a little bit more, put the PM cream on, and then we usually talk just a 4 or 5 minutes about the cleaning products and how that affects your skin as well. And usually we sell more cleaning products at this event than anything else.
Isn't that funny how that works? Wow. Yeah.
And we always close with a little info about the business, but when we share our stories at the beginning, we have found that we talk about how Shaklee Business allows us to stay home with our kids. And it allows us, so we kind of intertwine some of the business stuff within the meeting as well.
Yeah, yeah. So what you guys have created is a super special, incredibly fun, wonderful place to come, and then they just get to have a lot of
fabulous,
beautiful exposure to Shaklee.
So, Jennifer, darling, to avoid you getting 9 million requests for the outline for this brilliant spa night, do you have it in an outline form somewhere?
I do. I believe I do. If I don't, I can get it from Jerry.
I totally understand. If you would like to send that to me, everybody, we will attach it. And many of you are requesting the slides from today, and so you can have the dialogues and so on. And yes, everything is archived at bobsfiles.net. And for those of you who are also asking about taking out subscriptions to the BetterHealthIn31Days.com, that has a sister website now called Better Future starts today. It's all part of the same subscription. Yeah. And those of you who came on early enough, we'll show you another slide. The registrations are open. Subscriptions now are open for today and tomorrow for Chris and Michelle to get you subscribed to those websites. So everything is there, and that's where the podcasts live for both the training programs and the nutrition stuff. So this is brilliant, Jen. It's really, and it's fun, and but see, do you realize that so when we were talking about all those topics that you saw earlier, there were women's health, children's health, grand openings, spa nights. Do you see how they're all variations on a theme? All meetings start with your story. All meetings include all the product lines and the business. Most of those things are done through stories, and all of them have a close. So they all have the same elements to them. That's the thing we want you to understand. And people have done different twists on them, and they're all just fabulous. So this is great. Okay, let's look at the action steps real quick. Sorry, everyone, for going over today.
All right. So the action steps, imagine if you set up 4 in-home events and they generate around 250 PV. That would get you 1,000 PV for just a month. And then let's say that you helped one of your distributors set up 4 in-home events. That would generate 1,000 PV under them. Also, you can offer incentives for customers that you know love the product, that you know would be willing to support you. And in return, you're going to gift them some sort of, you could do like a gift package, even something as simple as a Get Clean package that consists of Basic H, spray bottles, Scour Off, something like that. There's a lot of different creative ways where you can give people a wonderful thank you card, but it doesn't also break your budget as well. So I think hopefully this was really helpful in homes and getting in-homes set up. And is there any
that's been great.
More?
And kids, somebody asked about what is the cost generally when you do an in-home meeting. What do you have a budget that you think of for those?
I will tell you, I keep it very simple and very low cost, and the reason is I want people to want to do them. And if I do like this wonderful, 15-course spread, I'll have 2, maybe 3 people that think they can handle that. I can't handle it. So the truth is I keep it very sweet and simple. I do not do a ton. I have, a few handouts at the end. I have the catalog. I do have catalogs available. But I think, like Jen's is an example of something that's once a year that they really go out, and that the intent is to be special. I think in general we keep them, nice, but you don't need to kill yourself over them. It's not necessary at all.
Very good. And Joe, we have a number of questions coming in. Yeah. Chris said to tell us that he is including the pre-call in the recordings. Like, I didn't know that. Good to know, Barbara, when you're talking about balloons. Okay.
David asked, would having a room rented somewhere, having lunch with this type of meeting be as effective? And I think they can be. We have a sales leader who has a distributor who has a dance studio, and they've done a number of over the lunch hour events, following this exact same format, only they serve the smoothie drinks and people come for lunch and they get a presentation.
Just think about if you were being invited, what would you respond to? What would you like to attend? And that'll help you. So anything works. Just make it to be what's in it for them. So they'd want to attend. Let's see. We're going to be attaching the symptom assessment sheet. By the way, speakers, you cannot mention a recipe without giving it to them, because then we get
everybody wants the flour.
Now they want, Jen, they want your chocolate cake recipe. So it
is awesome too.
So please include, and so attachments will be
buy those too.
Oh, you kids are so cute. Okay, yes, of course, we will get that. But for those of you,
it's Whole Foods chocolate cake. Just Google it.
Whole Foods chocolate
flourless chocolate cake.
Perfect.
Oh, you're so cute. Okay, and also the for those of you who said you're doing an event this weekend and you want those recipes, I can tell you the simplest one that I can just tell you right now for peanut butter fudge is 1 cup peanut butter, 1 cup energizing soy protein, either flavor, and 1/3 cup honey. Then if you want to add other little crunchy things to that, but it's 1 cup, 1/3 cup honey.
And you can roll those in coconut or crushed nuts.
And you can add chia seeds,
granola,
flower seeds, and crunchy flax seeds, whatever you want, or just keep it plain, doesn't matter. But they're good. They are really tasty. Okay, Joe, any other questions you want to?
The Seneca nutrition charts.
Oh, yeah. Address, Lise?
Yes. Are you ready?
Go.
www. No, what am I talking about? Don't just ignore that. It's DP Seneca. I don't know what website I was going to give you.
Okay. D as in Don, P as in Pat. DP.
Seneca,
okay.
At Comcast. For Pete's sakes.
At Comcast.net. That's it.
I believe that's the case.
It is because I have Comcast. Okay.
Thank you. Comcast.net. And just say in-home nutrition charts. They know exactly.
I want your charts. Give me some info. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
I think just about every video that we were mentioning today can be found at Shaklee.tv. They just have great, and they're short, 2 minute.
And Marge asked about showing it on your laptop. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and if you're comfortable with it, we do a lot on the TVs now. So we'll bring a laptop. I'll run a PowerPoint and the videos right on the person's TV in their home. If you want to jump into the tech world, it works really well. So.
And somebody was asking about where you get the information for everything that you present. Remember, if you missed that slide, there's a slide in here that says resources, and you can go to Better Health in 31 Days. All those webinars are right there. All those PowerPoints are right there.
Yep.
That you can download, and you can print what you want, or just get the outline, the information that you want to share. Okay. Anything else, Joe? Someone asked about ordering at the party. You guys want to?
I'll tell you my process, then Katie, maybe you can jump in if you want. In the handout that I do an interest sheet first because I want that. If someone has to leave, I need to have their information to follow up. So interest sheet first, nothing else, interest sheet. Then I come back with a packet, and I do still a membership application because if I don't want to try to enter everybody right there, so I'll say this. If you know you're going to move ahead today, go ahead and fill out the top part of this application, then flip it over. I want you to just write on the back the things you're thinking about getting. And then I'll come around and we'll talk about what you're thinking, and we can kind of decide together what the best starting place for you is. And that gives me a little bit of room to kind of ask a few questions to see if they're thinking distributor or gold ambassador, and it just gets them started. Does that make sense? So that's how I do it. Then my goal is I leave the meeting within my hot little patties, an interest sheet, and hopefully an application form, and I have the products written on the back, I have all the information on the front, and I'm good to go. And so that's how I do it.
Application form for?
Shaklee has it. It's just the
membership application.
About membership application. Okay, so that's important because you can register as a member directly at the website. However, whenever you do it yourself, then guess what? It gets done.
Yep.
And it gets done right, and believe it or not, I know this is going to blow everybody's mind, it can be a little glitchy on our Shaklee website, and people can make mistakes. I know. And then the very first experience with Shaklee is frustration. So why don't we my rule of thumb is I always enter the first order and the application. I don't want them to have to figure stuff out. And then after that, we do a new member appointment, and I teach them how to order themselves. But that's my rule because I want it to get done, and I want it to get done without mistakes.
Agree.
No.
Definitely.
Me too. Me too. I always register them myself.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very, very good. Okay. Joe, did we get most?
Where do you get Nutrition and You? Front runners.
Front runners?
Yeah, front runners. And they're like $1.50 if you buy them in quantity. They're really great.
I love them.
DP Semeka. S as in Sam, I, M as in mother. E-C-K-A, Semeka, Don and Pat Semeka, D-P Semeka, S-I-M-E-C-K-A.
At Comcast.net.
At Comcast.net. Mm-hmm. Good. Oh, my goodness. Okay. You guys are so great.
Somebody said they can't find the Getting Started with Shaklee Nutrition in the library.
Yeah. Tara, help us. They can't find Getting Started with Shaklee Nutrition. The booklet that I have is called. Oh, what?
I think I found it, but if I'm thinking of the right one, it's called Script for Sharing Shaklee Nutrition.
Aha.
Tips.
Script.
For sharing Shaklee, and that's an outline for a meeting. Scripts for sharing Shaklee Nutrition.
Yeah. Well, unless you're saying something else, I tried.
The original booklet was called the Shaklee Product Process, and I believe it was in there.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
What?
Scripts for Sharing Shaklee Nutrition, and then on the right-hand side is watch an archived webcast, and then downline the first step guide to getting started with Shaklee Nutrition.
Okay. So what do they look under to find it? How did you find it?
Did you search in the search box?
Yes.
What did you search for?
Oh boy, it was like 10 minutes ago.
like nutrition, sharing Shaklee Nutrition. Maybe that would bring it up.
And it came up.
Yeah, it should.
I put in script on the top. It says Scripts for Sharing Shaklee Nutrition, and it came up.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
Scripts for Sharing Shaklee Nutrition. Okay. I think it came out of the Shaklee Product Process Guide, but it's possible you could Google that one. Search box that one too. See, Tara, you found it, and now everybody's going to benefit from that. Thank you, dear.
Wonderful.
Thank you all. Oh my gosh, this was a wonderful session. Really important. And, we're going to do a follow-up session sometime. I don't know when. Just specifically on the grand opening, because what we've been talking about today has been about in-home meetings in general and principles around in-home meetings. What we're going to, so that's for building your business and building new members. When you have a new distributor, the grand opening is how you help them launch their business. So we're going to do a session. We'll incorporate some of the things we did today, but that's going to be a session that is specifically about getting a new distributor up and rolling, and we'll talk about, there's a couple things we do just a little differently, just to target that one. So that's coming up. Now, Joe, we're not here next week, right?
That's right. Next week we're off. We have a little vacation, so people can then plan their in-home events and even do a couple before we come back.
Spring break next week. So, and then when we return, we'll tell you what we're going to do then.
It'll be great. Never is. It'll be great. It'll be great.
This Monday, Joe, on the
the Power of Our Profession for nurses, and we have Janelle Devlin from Colorado, who is a cousin to Lisa Anderson in Shackley. I like Shackley cousin. Who's going to tell her story about being a nurse and what she finds attractive about having a Shackley business.
Yeah. So remember, the last Monday of every month, we're doing the Power of the Profession, and we're targeting certain professions so we understand what are the ups and the downs of that profession. And Janelle said, that nurses today, especially if they're working in hospitals, that is a physically very demanding schedule. Most people are working 12-hour shifts, and almost all of it they're on their feet. They have very little time. There's no breaks for healthy eating and or any eating, and so they lots of health issues among nurses, lots of weight issues among nurses. And she told me that when her Shackley income, working part-time, surpassed her full-time nursing income, she realized it was time to make a shift. Right. So, and Joe, do you remember what the average income was for, across the country for the nurses?
Well, I looked it up yesterday. U.S. News and World Report said that in 2013 it was like right around $68,000.
Oh, so it was higher than she thought. She thought it was $46,000. Okay.
Yeah.
$68,000. Okay.
Now, that includes all types and kinds of nursing. I mean, some nurses make a lot more than.
Oh, right. All right. Well, we'll get a little more detail on that for everybody. So, yeah. So we'll find out why nurses are such a good fit with Shackley businesses. Thanks, everyone. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Happy holidays, happy Easter, happy spring.
Happy Easter, yes, happy spring.
Good. See you in 2 weeks. All right. Thank you, speakers Diana and Jen and Katie and Lisa. Yeah, you're also great. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.